All right, here's our first question. I'm sure you've heard of SOPA, right? Remember
Yes.
that whole scare back in the... Do you remember what it stands for?
I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but I believe it is something around the lines of, I think it is, suspending online proactive activity, something like that.
You're close. It's the Stop Online Privacy Act.
There you go.
Okay. And you remember what that was about? How they were all trying to the whole NSA scare and how everyone...
They were trying to limit the use of the internet and certain websites and certain resources you could access on the internet in about 2012, I believe.
Yeah, that was with 2012. And do you know who Edward Snowden is?
Edward Snowden is a congressman, I believe, and I believe he was the one who proposed that.
Yes. So basically, what's happening now is there's a new bill that there's an extension of SOPA that's rising up, and basically it's mandating that everyone's phone, they're trying to expand to mobile stuff, so everyone's phone's going to have a GPS tracking device within the next 2 years. That's what they're trying to get past. Now, do you agree or disagree with this?
I disagree with that because I don't feel as though that we should be able to track every citizen at every time. I feel like maybe because with the technology that we already had, we can already pinpoint where phones are. So there's a GPS tracking so much necessary from a financial standpoint. Would you really need to invest more money into building that technology when you can already pinpoint people already? Which is already, to me, is already sort of an invasion of privacy.
Okay. Alright, so next question. You're familiar with Vladimir Putin, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so after he finished his campaign in Ukraine, he went back up to Russia, of which he's president of.
The president?
Yeah, he's the president of Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Not Edward Snowden.
Not Edward Snowden.
Not that one.
Yeah. He's just like the chancellor.
Alright, so the recent news is that Putin wants Alaska, our state, back under his control because of the gold, the resources, the oil that you can find in Alaska, because a lot of it's untapped. And so basically he wants to make a deal, a diplomatic deal, where, he wanted Alaska back to Russia in a place where he will help alleviate some of our debt to China. You know how we're in debt to China for $3 trillion? Yeah. So do you think that deal should be made, or should we just keep Alaska for ourselves for the gold and resources?
I mean, we really don't really have a right to Alaska. It's not even connected. Whereas you can see Russia from Alaska, as I heard in the news at one point. You can see Russia from Alaska. So I mean, they really have a bigger claim to it than we do. Okay. And I mean, the fact that we have $8 trillion, I mean,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, they should just do it. I mean, we don't really have that many people living there anyway, so it's not going to affect U.S. citizens, and we need the money. So.
And do you think Russia will give aid to the United States for the $3 trillion? Or do you think they'll just take Alaska and just run off?
I mean, we can work something out where if they give us so much aid, we'll give them a third of Alaska, and then after they pay so much aid, you give them another third of Alaska, just like with a pie. And if you have to, don't laugh, it's a good analogy.
Okay.
Just like with the pie, where you have to get, well, if you say someone, here, you give me this and I'll give you that, they give you part of the pie. They don't just give you the pie and hope you pay.
All right, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. It'll be kind of dicey when they start giving off thirds, though, because you have to protect the border and everything. But they're paying it, so.
Okay. All right, so we have one more question for you today. I'm sure you've heard of the recent attacks in Vermont by the polar bears. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have. Basically, what this is there's two cities. I don't know if you already know this, but there's two cities in Vermont that were not necessarily targeted, but two polar bears snuck into these cities. And I'll spare you the details of all the medical stuff because no one wants to hear about that. I mean, yeah. So 2 kids died in one of the cities, and 1 kid died in the second. So that's 3 casualties in these two cities. And I just want to know if you saw any photos of this happening, or what do you think we should do about the polar bears and their growing population in general?
I think that they should get all the polar bears that are coming in and put them somewhere I don't know what to do
You
with
just
polar
take all the
bears.
polar bears and just put them somewhere else.
Right. I don't know how you would do that.
All right. Well, do you have any ideas on what we could do? Maybe. I don't know. No ideas.
No.
You just think we should take all the polar bears from one that are coming in and just move them somewhere else. Where do you think we should move them?
A zoo?
A zoo?
Somewhere
Okay.
that would be better for everyone.
Well, I mean, when
I don't
at
know.
the zoo, there's people coming in to see the polar bears. What's there's accidents at the zoo, you know.
Are there?
Yeah, there are.
No,
All right.